Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. This evening we are taking a look at Maschine Mark 3, but we're also taking a look at the new PolySynth, which is the main reason for the video, the live stream. Just want to say hi to everyone who's here on the chat. Hi Colin, hi Dave, hi Ivan, hi Stephen, and hi Dave. Okay, so here's the thing. On the last Maschine update, which was 2.14 or 2.2, something like that, they added the PolySynth, and the PolySynth is based on the Pro 53 they released. Oh gosh, I think it like right at the beginning of the 2000s, 2002, 2003, and it was quite well received. So it was like, I think it was a VST, so Native Instruments Pro 53. Some of you may even remember that synth, but now they've reincarnated it into Maschine. Well, this is Maschine Mark 3. This is the controller for the software. This is all this is, but it's a 2-oscillator synth, does loads of cool stuff. We're going to have a listen to some of it, and I'm going to show you exactly how to find it, because it's not that straightforward or obvious where you want to be looking. Okay, so I have this group here, group 1, and in group 1 the only thing is PolySynth, but I'm in keyboard mode, so I can, and I've got my little key step plugged in. Stupid question, boom. Is this an engine or sample? Oh no, this is a synth engine. This is a synth. This is running a VST synth. Like if I go into this group here and right here we go. Here's where you find it. I'm going to go to my next group, which is primarily basically your next instrument. I'm going to hit plugin browser, and this will let me browse everything that's on Maschine, well, in the Maschine software. And at the moment I'm on, in this particular one, I'm on groups, okay, and I've got Maschine selected as this group here, and I can choose the audition. Different kits, and when I find a kit that I like, let me just hit shift and mute. That'll stop the sound. I'm just going to load it in, and it's now loaded this kit in. Let's go to the mixer, and I'm going to go to group level and just turn it down. So I've just loaded this this drum kit into group 2. If I go back to group 1, it's still my, that's our mixer view, obviously. We can go back to our keyboard view. And you can see the notes there. And then we can go to our plugin instance button and go to sound, and that will show us our PolySynth. So let me show you. Let me go to group C, which is an empty group. I haven't put anything in there yet. And let's find PolySynth. So we go to browser, and although you think it's in Maschine, it is part of Maschine, obviously, you want to be going to sounds and not instruments. If you go to instruments, you'll find it, but you won't find the presets inside the Maschine Mark 3 browser. So go to sounds and touch this first one here, and you'll see that I already have it selected because I've been using it, obviously. But you go to like PolySynth there, and you can choose a subcategory if you want to, but we don't need to worry about that. These are your subcategories here. We don't need to worry about that. And now you're on your sounds for your PolySynth. Now you can select all these from the actual browser as well, from the computer. It's the same kind of thing. So what's this? Big bass. Well, we could put big bass in there. Once we find a sound we like, we won't be able to play it on our MIDI keyboard or the pads or anything until we load the sound in. But we can audition it easily by just I'm going to hit this big bass. I'm going to go load. And it's now loaded in. If I go to keyboard mode now, it's really low. So let's go up an octave. And another thing is, you'll notice that a lot of the sounds are monophonic, because like bass sounds want to be monophonic. So what we want to be doing is, let's go back to our first sound, this one. Let's turn that into a polyphonic sound. Go to our plugin instance, and if you can't hear it, because it'll be on master group or sound. Now, what Native Instruments have very kindly done here is they've already stuck it. Let me just have a look what's going on here. Not just any group of phonic. Well, I can't. I'm just having a quick. Anyway, so we're going to go to, like, you'll see that they've put a delay in this case a beat delay, and they've also put a metaverb in for us. This is on every single patch. So for every single instance of PolySynth you want to open, you have a beat delay already installed and a metaverb, which is nice because I'm just going to put some output on here for the meta. Still a mono sound, we can fix that in a sec. We could go back to our beat delay, maybe give it a bit of that. So now we've got a bit of delay and a bit of reverb on there, which is really nice, because dry polysynths and dry synths, you know, you want a bit of something in there to make them sound sweeter, and like they rest in the mix better than harsh tones. Okay, so this is very clever. You do not need to leave Maschine to adjust any of the parameters on PolySynth. They're all here for you. If we nudge back to PolySynth now, let's make this polyphonic. So you'll see it says 1 of 9 there. I don't know if you can actually see that. It says 1/9 on the screen. That means there are 9 pages of data here that you can control with your rotary encoders here. And you just scroll through the pages, you can see them changing. So first page we have filter, resonance, envelope amount, invert on it. That's inverting the envelope, by the way, and it's inverting the filter envelope, not the amp envelope. The amp envelope is on this page, amp envelope, and then you have the actual filter envelope there. So filter envelope amount is there. Next page is there. And this is all represented also on the screen of the actual UI of the synth. But like I said, you don't need to leave Maschine to do this. Oscillator, mix between the oscillators A and B. We have a noise generator as well. This is no slouch of a synth, I kid you not. Okay, so glide's not polyphonic. It depends on what mode you're in here. So we're in unison mode. It's going to work in unison mode. But it won't work in poly mode. This is slightly detuning the oscillators, which is going to make the sound bigger. This is your voices, which in unison mode is going to make your sound louder, obviously, because you're stacking voices. Now, some of these patches, when you first initially load them up, are quite loud, so you may want to go into your mixer and just turn it down a little bit, you know. Let's go back to our plugin. So now let's make it polyphonic. So touch the top of the encoder, which is touch sensitive. which allows you to see if there's any more menus in there, sort of thing. Sometimes there's not, but this one obviously there will be. And let's make it poly, and now we have 3-note PolySynth. It has a very distinctive. Now let's make this more, give it more voices. Let's make this, where are we? 8 voices, so. Very nice, lovely stuff. Fine, so we know that our second group is our I could seriously play Maschine all day. It's brilliant. Anyway, here's that other sound. And you'll see that there is our beat delay and our metaverb. Now, of course, we can add any more effects we like. Let's go to our mixer. Now, if your sound isn't loud enough, and you're sort of starting to drive, I don't like driving past 0 on any mixer. I'd rather go down and up. But if I need a bit of thing, I'll put a bit of compression on there, which is nice because it gives us a perceived volume level and a compression at the same time. So let's add a tiny bit of the older metaverb here. Let's make the actual the room slightly bigger. Let's not put a beat delay on here, but let us go to the synth section a sec and let us biff up the filter. And also, let's go up an octave. I can do that. I've done this via my keyboard, but so if we want to go up an octave, we can do it here. But this is for this is if you're playing this, which we will be shortly. Let's go back to our plugin instance. And we're going to leave this monophonic because it's a bass patch, right? Excuse me. But what I'd like, I'm going to go do a bit of presets there in a minute, guys. I'm not just programming this synth all night. I just want to give you a few tips. So we've added a tiny bit of the metaverb, and we can scroll along to our next plus button because you can add as much as you want in Maschine. So we're scrolling along using our 4D encoder like this, and we get to this little plus button. Let's press this, and this gives us access now to our effects. It will default to internal effects, and these are the internal effects. Now these are brilliant effects, and they're very, very efficient with the CPU. So if you're gonna be getting into Maschine or anything, and if you can, I would suggest you do. You can choose all your effects here, and there are quite a few of them to actually start with. But like I said, here we go with a compressor. Let's just load that compressor up, and we've added the compressor here. And now we can choose the amount or the output, say. The amount of compression, the mode of compression, we can have it on classic or feedback. Let's leave that. But if anytime you want to remove one of these effects, let's hold shift. You can see you can bypass it or remove it. So if we bypass it, it'll turn it off. We remove it, it will remove it. We can nudge along to our next plus point again, tap this. And we could say like, whoa, oh, okay, let's have a maximizer. That might be better for what we want, and it actually is. So let's load the maximizer up, and here's the maximizer. And you have some super basics. You have two controls. You have a gain, depth here. So turbo. And then you have a gate, and now we've got enough volume. But it doesn't end there, of course. We can add another one. Let's tap this and let's look for a flanger. So we've got this one, our drums, this our bass, which is now miles too loud, there, but we can just turn it down. Our mixer, let's add another group, okay, and I'm going to change the color on that because I prefer another color other than green. So to change color on anything, once you've selected the new group, you just hit pad mode again, and the groups are you can select different groups, but we are on like group D, and I'm going to just change the color to a plum. You can't see it very well on the camera. The colors are actually lovely on Maschine. It's really nice. It makes organizing things a lot easier. Right. So let's just have a drink because I'm thirsty. Again, we're going to go to our plugin browser this time, and we're already on our PolySynth because it was the last thing we tried. So this time, let's go with subtypes. Let's look for maybe some brass, and it'll find all our brass sounds, and we can. Synth brass is nice. So, and you'll hear that this is poly. Are you talking about this? That about? Are you talking about this wall? Are you talking about the Maschine? These are about 300 and something quid, I think now you can get them for. Maybe about 400 quid, not sure. About 400 quid. Dave knows. Dave was looking at them. About 400 quid. It's only a controller. But you get all the software and stuff with it if you buy it from. Make sure you buy it from Native Instruments. I know you're not going to buy one, I'm just saying. Okay. Yeah, it wouldn't be. It would not. Definitely wouldn't be for you, Wal. Wouldn't be for you, mate. Although to be fair, this is running about 1,500 quid's worth of software on it as well that they sent me. So you know, it gets expensive if you start buying Complete Ultimate and all the rest of it. But fortunately for Native Instruments, mate, this is the biggest selling controller in the whole of the world, so I don't think they're that bothered. Right, so there we go. Let's browse a few of the old sounds. Oh, that's nice. So let's do right, okay, right. This is a poly sound and that's a fifth, so we don't really want that sound to be doing this. Let's look for a pad sound maybe. So synth. I can't see. Oh, there we go. Synth pad. Give us some pads. Right, nice. Low dark strings. Enter that. Polyphonic sound. Keyboard mode, main, chromatic. Let's go for major. Let's go for minor. Okay, cool beans. Let's turn it down a bit. What's another cool thing about this is this lets you play really super complex chords just with one pad, and you control what it plays totally 100%. So for instance, if I want to play some really lush lovely chords with this patch from PolySynth, I would go into chord mode, and initially chord mode will set me a scale. So if I'm running chord mode, I'm like this, I'm setting the scale. And there are lots of different modes of scales you can play with, like jazz, world, 5-tone, blah, blah, and then different types of scale, like you've got major, minor, Japanese, all this kind of vibe going on. So just like your synths, you know, we'll leave it on minor for that, but that's a nice sound. So cool beans, let's go to chord mode now, and you're first presented with, you don't need to worry about the scales or minor. Chord type, at the moment it will default to harmonic, or harmonizer, sorry, and the type is a 1-3-5, a 1-3-5, a 1-5, a 1-7, a 1-5, a 7, a 7. So playing this now gives you a 1-3-5 in a minor scale, and you can see it's C. If you want to change the key, you use the semitone button. So now it's a B, now it's a C sharp, now it's a D. So you set your key, your root note key there, and that's your. Where this gets very cool is when you touch the top of this and go to chord set. Chord set, you see your key now is still there in D. Chord set, and this is type chord set major 1, and we have up major 8, and then we have 8 minor chord sets as well. These are remarkably good. So major 1 chord set, you can see what the chords are there. I don't know if you can actually read them, but this is brilliant. Like, how brilliant is that, seriously? Where'd you switch it on? I tell you what, if you buy one, I'll tell you. That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. You can see what chords you're playing as well. So that's an A sus4, that's an A, G6, a G add 9. This does have an on switch well. So, but we can now, if we like, because it's like it's just a MIDI controller and we're just playing a synth. We're not running audio. It's a proper synth. It will run notes. It'll pretty much do anything you want it to. This will do anything you want it to do. Let's go to browser. Let's choose another. What's this one? That sounds like a nice sound. Let's load that. There you go. Your car's been a Maschine user since 2010, and I bet he's a very, very happy man. Okay, so what we could, chord mode, let's go down an octave, too high. Plug-in browser, I want to open a filter. Okay, so that's major 1. Let's try minor 1. Keyboard mode. Let's go on to note repeat. We're in arpeggiator mode now. Hi Russ. Hi Josh. Jim. Anyone else I may have missed? Sorry. What a sound. So, well, let's try mine. Oh, let's try. Oh, see, the higher they go, you're seriously getting into like neo soul chords. Let's rub that up an octave. Not happy with the key, not a problem. Let's change the key. So let's change this to a E flat. has a power switch, it's just here. It's here at the back. Soft brass. Let's change the mode to, I don't know, -3. Too loud, so I think I want to supervillain. It's a mono patch. We could make it poly if we wanted to, of course, but if we just go into our PolySynth and check for, where's that? I think I've gone too far. I've gone too far. There we go. Let's make it poly. Miles too low. It's got some nice analog drift on it. Sorry, I've just gone into the software and synced it up to save leaving the screen. But if when the oscillators are free running, you get a beautiful kind of. Let me just show you. So, if you can find them here. So let's just go. Here, sync off. So the oscillators are doing their own thing. But if we lock them together, so let's see maybe some piano and key type sounds. Some electric piano. Let's try another. Let's try a major. Oh, let's go nuts at major 8 chord set. And of course, because this generates MIDI data, once you've loaded it in, once you've recorded it in, you can go in and adjust the MIDI as you wish, you know. So And of course, because it's, you can go in and back to our beautiful chord sets. By the way, yeah, this, I mean, it's, Maschine is a full door. It's a completely full door. This is just a controller. It's like any other door, you know. You can do what you want with it. It loads in. You can, in fact, you can actually, if we go to another group, yeah, we go to our browser, you go to, say, these are all different groups. Now, in just this one group of Maschine, there's 955 different complete kits. Totally independent kits, and that's nothing because of all of these extra ones you can buy. But this is in groups. But if we go to, say, something like instruments, for example, and we just go around with all products, I mean, you've got like Action Strings, Action Strikes, Absynth is there, the very marvelous Absynth, Alicia Keys. Analog Dreams, Arcus, these are all different instruments that I have. They're all NKS ready sort of things. Damage, Elysium, Emotive Strings, Ethereal Earth, and you just go on and on. There's the Hammers and Waves acoustic stuff. Jupiter, this is coming, some of the Arturia stuff's in here, like for instance, like the Jupiter 8v3. There's Maschine again, Massive, Massive and Massive X, Matrix, just tons and tons of it. Like there's loads and loads of stuff. Whatever you've got on your computer, these are your VSTs that are NKS ready, if you know what I mean, sort of thing. And it's the same for like effects. If you're like, if we go back to this and we're going, oh, that's very nice. We go to our things. We know we've got some the old Meta on there, and they've programmed in a bit of reverb for this. Put in a bit more. We can put a bit more beat delay in actually. If you go to like plus again, you know, like when we press this, it brings up our internal our vendor. If we hold this, we can go, oh, what we got from Native Instruments or Acusonus or Audio Thing or Cherry Audio, Freak Show or IK or Isotope or Klangheim or KV, Lexicon, Output, Waves. So yeah, you know, it's just Arturia. Native Instruments is own stuff sort of thing, and then the internal ones that are part of the actual software. Anyway, it comes with an absolute slew of patches as well, tons and tons of them, just over 250 or something, maybe even more. There's a lot of those. Go to our sounds. I'm just gonna find it again. Maschine, PolySynth. Hey, Lady Aptitude's here. Hi, Lady Aptitude. I do like chords. let's just say, for instance, we want, it's quite nice, isn't it? So what's that kind of 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4. I'm close actually, so I'm right. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 20. I reckon it was on 120. But anyway, let's go to pattern. Let's create a pattern. Let's make that pattern 4 bars long. Let's go to events. Hit this. 2. Let's go to our drums. Let's create a pattern. 4 bars. Oh yeah. Guys, there you go. We took a look at PolySynth. It was added in the last update, which is very nice as well. So I went through quite a lot of it. I mean, nowhere go to all the patches. However, it was a fun thing to look at as well. Nice to look at the Maschine because I love it dearly. It's a marvelous thing. Yeah, brilliant, top job, cool beans. I didn't make any scenes or patterns and stuff, so if we went into scenes, we could start creating new scenes, and then we could that like little thing we built up with these 4 or whatever that was we could then start arranging that into a track sort of thing if we wanted to. But to do that, I'd have to create some new scenes, and it's getting on. Actually, although to be fair, it doesn't take long. It's actually quicker if I do this right. Well, if I'll do this, I'm gonna go like 4, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna create another one, 4. So I've now created 4 scenes. I'm gonna go back to scene 1, but on scene 2 here, I am going to switch off all the patterns. Go back to scene 1. I'm going to switch off all these patterns for the other 3 scenes, and I'm going to go to scene 2. I'm going to switch on this pattern and this one. I'm going to go to scene 3. I'm going to switch on all the patterns. 3 of the patterns. I'm going to go to scene 4 and switch on all those patterns. And then I'm going to go to my scene page. I'm going to choose this one here, and I'm going to go to grid, perform, and I'm going to choose scene so that I can press the scene buttons in any order I like, and it'll wait till the next scene comes along. So let's do that, shall we? So I'm going to go to scenes. I'm going to press play, and we'll just get this one. I'm going to switch the metronome off. That one thing we recorded. Second scene. And I can press the next one anytime I like. Switch scene 1 off. Go in, add another scene, and on scene 5 we could have, say, I've gone on to scene 5 now, there's nothing happened, but not this first one. On scene 5 we could have, say, pattern 4 just on its own. Okay, so if we go into scenes now, we could do like if we stop it, let's go to scene 1. If we stop it, you could do like little breakdowns, and that's not even to mention parameter locking and effects and stuff, which I've also done tutorials for. But yeah, right. So I'm just gonna, guys, listen. I'm just gonna jam around with this for a couple of minutes while you say ta-ra to each other. Bless you all. Thank you so much for joining me this evening, where we took a look at Maschine and PolySynth, and I will see you all very, very soon. Thank you very, very much. See you guys later. Please strike the like or subscribe to the channel. Please consider a super chat or a super sticker to help support what me and Joe do here at the Sound Test Room for you guys. And I will see you all very later. Ta-da. Bye.